Hi guys, today is Wednesday, November 6th. I wanted to finish out my video that I didn't get to finish last night, and I do apologize for that. But before I began, I want to thank some people. I want to thank my sister Felicia. I want to thank my friend Siobhan Armstrong, and I want to thank my daughters. Because they encouraged me to be on Facebook, I would talk to them, but again, for me, it was about timing, and it wasn't time yet. So now it is time. It's so much I want to share with you guys, but the thing that I did want to focus on right now, I'm on my lunch break, was about that empath that I was talking about last night. Now, like I said, some of us are purposed to be together, and I used to term my children's father, and I don't say my, because when we say my, because we speak things, we claim and stuff. So for me, he is the father of my daughters. I don't call them girls, because when you call people things, they act like that. There's a little saying going around, it don't matter what people call you, is what you answer to. So if you with a woman and she calling you a boy, or she calling you a bee and she calling you a garden tool, and you still with her, you answering to it. Same way, vice versa. If you with a dude and he calling you a bee and he calling you a garden tool, and you still with him, you answering to it. So it does matter what people call you, because you start answering to it and you start behaving like the thing that they're calling you. So be careful with your words. Now, the thing that I want to say about the empaths, about the abilities, some of you guys may have it, and when you go out in public, you think you're having a panic attack. Well, it may be, it's just that you're feeling everybody's emotions, and it's overwhelming. And the reason why you have a panic attack, I'm sorry, I'm starting my car because it's hot. And you don't know what's going on. Once you know what it is you're managing, again, remember what I said when mine started happening. I used to talk to people. You know, they tell me all their problems. I can be out at a bus stop and somebody gonna come tell me all their business. And it's just like, even on my lunch break, somebody want to come and sit with me. It's like I want to be by myself. I started going outside so I could be by myself. And then when I'm out there, here come a stranger. I used to want to ask him, do I have a sign on my forehead that say, tell me all your business? And I talked to a psychic one time. She was a client. I'll go into that later on. And she told me, she said, you have a gift of that makes people feel comfortable. They feel safe with you. They feel like, she said, she said you have a gift of trust. People trust you, and that's why they feel like they can come tell you stuff. They actually can, but it's like, for me, because of that, it actually drains me. And some of you guys may have this. I'm going to read off some of the stuff and you think about it, okay? Some of it is you may feel all of the emotions of people, even positive ones. So if someone close to you is happy or joyful, you happy too. And if they angry, you feel angry too. Sometimes you may feel like an electric current go through your body suddenly, and you kind of feel like a flood of emotions. Another thing may be you feel sad and melancholy out of nowhere, and you don't know why you're feeling that way, or you become confusing because you may not fully understand what's happening. And a lot of the things can be, sometimes you may know something's going to happen with somebody before they know it. You may know that they probably sick, or you can sense it. This means you have some abilities. And it's a possibility that you may have that. But we going to the doctor asking for stuff when it's something that's natural. When I said we have a sixth sense, that sixth sense is your intuition. You have that. Mine is keenly developed. Have you ever walked in a room and you knew somebody was talking about you? I know when you've been talking about me. I ain't gonna say nothing. I know when you're lying to me. I actually can pick up cues. You give out cues and stuff. It's things that I can pick up on that you don't know. I'm just not gonna say that. The thing that just ended up happening with me, when you lie to me, you have established yourself as a liar. So you can be telling me the truth and I'm not gonna believe. So, but I am a human lie detector. Now my daughters have gifts as well. So theirs is different from mine. Actually, some of their gifts are stronger than mine. When you seen these movies is like what is it, Twilight, when that young lady Bella could put a dome around, she put a force field. I know somebody that can do that. You seen these movies where they show where people have like cords connected to each other? I know somebody that can actually see those cords. That's why I'm talking about you better be careful who you hanging around with. You better be careful who you let pray for you, because you don't know who they praying to, and you letting people pray for you and they putting stuff on you. I actually had some black magic that was put on me. I have to wear crystals to protect myself. If you seen movies where people have to wear like a certain charm to protect themselves, I was being attacked in my sleep. One of the things that happened to me recently, and I'm going to tell you background, but this is how I ended up. I ended up having high vibrations to having low vibrations, and when you have a low vibration, you can be attacked. For years, I didn't like to dream, because when I would dream, when I would wake up, I would be tired, like I had been doing stuff in my dream. And sometimes, some of you guys have made experiences while you sleep, it seems like something is on your chest holding you down. See, the thing, remember how the Bible talk about battles being not flesh and blood, but it's principalities and powers? Some of you guys are warriors, and you are fighting in your sleep. You are fighting in the spiritual realm, and you don't even know it. Now, the way that I found out that I actually was doing this, there was somebody that I'm connected to. Well, I was connected to him. It's a soul tie. This person is what's called, he's a cosmic. He's a karmic twin flame, which means he's like the opposite of me. I'll explain that in another video. But I don't know if he's cognizant of it, but he would come to me in his sleep. He would come to me late at night. And when we went together, I guess he was missing me. So he would come to me in my sleep. Now one night he was doing it, and I said, get out of my head. If you want to communicate with me, communicate with me. And as soon as I said that, I heard myself snore, like, you know how when you sleep, and then I said, I'm asleep. That's when I realized things go on in the spiritual realm for real. Now that goes on with me. Now one of my coworkers at work, she saw me with my bag. I don't go nowhere without them. I have them with me right now. They protection. Because it's a spirit that people have. Now, I'm going to tell you something else about the sex parties. Let me give you a disclaimer. I don't care what you do. The Bible said all things are lawful unto you, but all things are not expedient. Next time, I'm going to tell you where that's found. This is just kind of like coming to me, and I'm just speaking and saying that as it come to me. You can do what you want to do. I am a teacher. It is not my place to tell you what to do. In the mortgage industry, what we do, we might have different options. I give you your options so you can make an informed decision on what's best for you. That's what I'm here to do here now. I'm just giving you the information so that you will know it. Because the thing that happened in I went from a riches to where I am now, and I'm going to share that probably in another video. I'm not going to do it here because it's going to be too long. But the things that happen is I love to read. I love the Word. There was a time when I knew the Bible so well. I'm not one to know like where it is, but if you was to ask me about, you could read some verses in there. I could tell you, I could finish that story for you. That's how well I knew the Bible. So, kind of like the book of Eli. Now, I'm not like him. I couldn't quote it like that, but I could tell you what was going on in that story, and I had people test me on that. Now, I got away from it, and I'm not into it like that. But that word, it's in here. So, for me, the word was given to me so I could give it to you in layman's terms. I'm kind of like your cheat sheet. You know how you have to have a book report and you got that book that summarizes everything? That's why I was put here, is to talk to you. Because the thing that happens in our community, the black community, people that do get the information, they're not really coming back and sharing it with us. And then some of us, our education system failed us. So some of us don't read like I read. I've read, you hear the things about all kinds of stuff. The book, The Key, that's talking about the laws of attraction. I read what they probably got that book from. It's called The Master Key. The guy that wrote that is called Charles Hammond. He wrote that in like 1910. The Master Key was actually barred. Religious people didn't want you to read that because he was talking. He's talking about the things Jesus said. See, it's a difference between being religious and then looking at what Jesus said. Because Jesus came to take you away from the law, and then the disciples came in right after him and gave you some more. So Jesus' words is what I'm going to focus on because Jesus is the key to all of it. But again, I'm going to put that link. I'm going to put a link under this video about the empaths. A lot of stuff is about, it's actual audio. Because I sometimes read, but there are a lot of audio books out there that you can listen to. You don't actually have to read them. But the information is available to you and you ain't got to pay for them. You can go to the library. And it's a lot of information that's out there that help people to become wealthy. It's like I said, the people get the information and then they trying to sell it to you. And a lot of us are going to miss it because that's not something that we would have access to or know that we have access to it. But you got me. So now you have access to it. And when I talked about my gift and what I do, I actually have what's called Audioclairvoyance as well. I can hear things in music. So it's my coworker came out the other day and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was crying. And I said, "I'm just listening to music." So I can hear things in music if it's evil, if they put some bad messages out there. I was attacked with somebody's song too. That's how all of this stuff started. I'm going to share that with you in another video. It took away everything. You know, I told you I know the word. I could not recall one scripture. Fred Hammond, when my daughters was little, I used to tell them Fred Hammond is my favorite artist out of all in the world. And they didn't understand that. Now that they're adults, they understand it. Fred, when he sings, his songs are actual scripture. If you want to learn scripture, listen to some Fred Hammond songs. He literally sings scripture. Another thing that he does, a lot of them do it. I don't know if they're aware of it. It could be just something God gave them. I don't know if you hear about auras and chakras and all of that kind of stuff. my aura. My aura was pink. It says it's rare that somebody have just one color. Pink means love. I was all love. And it's not me saying this or pretending to anybody. If somebody looked at me and see it, they say, yeah, she's all love. She's sincere. It's not a joke. But then when I started making these videos, the person that can see auras, they said, you pink and green. Green means healing. It used to just be in my hands. Now I'm green and pink. That means I'm love and I'm healing. So some of you guys have these things that's in you as well. Like I said, the way that mine is set up is for me to be able to help other people. I can lead. One of the things I used to wonder, and it kind of used to hurt me, because I know that I was sincere and I was praying and I did, different things, and my stuff wasn't blooming up like I thought that it should, because of the way that I was actually passing out stuff, trying to lead people to Christ and everything. And the person that I was married to was excelling on his job, and he was getting all the blessings, and I was like, going to God, it's like, why don't I get blessed in all the things? You know what he told me? He said, he's your covering. You get blessed through him. So when you married, remember that scripture about when a man findeth a wife, he finds a good thing and earns favor from the Lord? That man will get blessed. I'm going to say this. This is not to boast, but this is to tell you where I'm from, where I came from. We were blessed. We have favor with God. We used to go to the Suns games. We were either sitting on the floor behind the players, or we was up in the booth, the boxes. Not in the box where you go and you buy your food. We was in a box where people brought the stuff in to you. Didn't pay for nothing. Now, I was doing that when I was married, and then after I was married, that same blessing was going to me. See, I didn't have a covering anymore. I was getting the blessings directly from God. I'm going to say this, though. The person that I was married to, that I was with from age 14 to 38, was who I was supposed to be married to. Now, I knew I was going to marry him. We used to write love letters. I got proof in that. One of them letters, I told him, you may not know this, but I'm going to marry you. I knew I was going to marry him. I also knew I wasn't going to be with him when we got old, because I didn't see him. Now, that was supposed to happen. We were together to create our kids. But there's a dream that I'm going to share with you to let you know what's going on with me in the future. God gave it to me because it's some things that happened. Remember, I told you the person that was in my head, in my sleep, that person was supposed to come in my life. But that tie, oh my gosh, that tie is something else. But I'm going to share with you about that later. And but that was divine. It was divinely set up, and it was divinely cut off. So that kind of helped me know. I knew it was going to happen. Now, I had already been told that. It's just when it happened, that was like one of the hardest things I had to go through in my life. But the tie is cut now. But again, I'm going to put this link about the empathic things that you guys can look at that and do some research on to see if maybe that's something that you may have. Another thing that you guys may have some issues going on in your home and whatever, you probably was getting along well, and then you moved and all chaos just broke out. That may be because of the number, your house number. Your house number has something to do with how you get along. Your house, where you work, has the numbers, has something to do with it. It's all spiritual. Remember, math, it's a universal language. And the numbers don't lie. Your birth number has something to do with how you behave. So it's a whole lot of stuff out there that I'm going to end up sharing with you. Again, the link that I'm going to put in right now is going to be about the impacts This one is a little long, and it's going to be even longer because I want to read something to you because Jesus was the biggest empath of all time. Remember the story about the woman with the issue of blood? And then she touched Jesus. I was going to read it. I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to tell you where it is. It's in Luke chapter 8, verse 43 to 48. She had, I'm going to go ahead and read it. I'm sorry. And a woman having an issue of blood, 12 years, which had spent all her livings upon physicians, neither could they heal of any, came behind him and touched the border of his garment, and immediately her issue of blood was healed. It said staunched. And Jesus said, who touched me? When all denied, Peter and they that were with him said, Master, the multitude throng on thee, press thee, and thou sayest, who touched me? And Jesus said, somebody has touched me, for I perceived that virtue was going out of me. And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling and falling down before him and declared unto him before all the people for what cause she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said unto her, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith has made thee whole. Go in peace. Now, in that scripture, the thing that I want you guys to know, when the Bible is talking about, they use the words that was of their time. So, what we consider to be demons and unclean spirit, high blood pressure could be a demon. This woman probably had what's called hemophilia. It's a blood disease where your blood don't clot. They didn't have that word back then, but that's probably what she had. Diabetes could be a disease, unclean spirit. One of the stories was in there, this kid used to just jump around and be in the fire. He could have had epilepsy. So, grief, bitterness, anger, guilt, all of these are what we would be considering demons. They are actually, as Jesus put it, it's just an unclean spirit. It's a spirit that can attach itself to you. And those are the things that he was healing people from. So today we have doctors and things like that we go to, and they gave them a different name. But these are some of the things that was going on with these people. So I wanted you guys to be aware of that. I know somebody that can actually see those things on you. And they can unblock it. So when trauma happens in our life, it gets in our body and it's locked up in there. But there is actually somebody with a gift that can take that trauma out of you. See, when the trauma is there, you relive it over and over again. And when you think about it, it's like it happened for the first time. And that's why it stays. Now, my daughter, my oldest one, that's her field. She'll know more about that than I do. So it's just like a knife and a spoon. That ain't my area. I can tell you a little bit about it, but that ain't my area. I ain't going over there trying to be something I'm not. So she would be the one that could tell you on something like that. My children have spiritual gifts. Theirs are different from mine. Theirs are actually kind of like Jack. They got some of everything. Then their kids got some of everything. So it's like a lineage that goes down the line. And some of us probably had ancestors that was back in wherever we came from that had gifts, but we were taken from them, so we don't know about it. We don't know how to channel it or anything like that. But the thing that I would say, it's recruiting time. And we talk about the enemy. You know, we talk about Satan and everything, and you talk about that stuff is real. I'm gonna go into that, and it's scary. And I'm gonna tell you some stories about it too. But I did want to touch on this so you guys will know about that. Again, I want to thank my sister, Felicia, and my friend, Siobhan Armstrong, and my daughter, Celicia and Alyssa. because I was talking about doing a podcast. That way I could have my daughters with me too, and they can share with you. Because there's some things that they have. Some things that they go through. The thing that's funny is they was going through what they was going through because they're in Arizona, I'm here. And I was going through the same thing over here. We wasn't talking about it. And then one day we got on the phone and we was talking about all this stuff that's going on, and we seeing movies. And wasn't nobody like taken aback by it. Oh, I want to tell you this too. You know how you may feel somebody's watching you? That's because they are. Or how your kids come to you and you hear them and they're talking to somebody. They talk to somebody for real. You just can't see them, but they can. So don't discount what your children telling you. We just know what's going on, and we kind of encourage ours. That way we keep them safe. And I want to say to you men, these demons, like I said, these demons are some simple stuff, but you got pedophile demons, you got lust demons, you got all these things. And these young ladies that don't have a dad, some of these people know they demons are there, and they participating with the demon. Some of them, I don't know if they're aware, but when you drink and you get intoxicated or you in drugs, there's something called spirits. The reason why they call spirits is because when your defenses are down, a spirit can enter your body. So these people that black out and don't remember what happened, a spirit probably entered your body and took over. So you have to be careful on these things. I'm just here to warn you, to let you know this is what's going on and that you need to be cognizant of it. So I know this video is long and I do apologize, but I did want to get that out there, and I will put that link about the empathic ability so you guys can read up on that on this particular video, okay? Have a good day.